Hello and welcome again to Chinalog. I'm David Moser. President Barack Obama has just completed his first historic visit to China, and he went to the Great Wall, the Forbidden City, and now he's flown back to Washington, D.C. Now comes the hard part of putting all this trip into historical perspective and doing some prognostication about the future. And I'm lucky to have in the studio here two of the best prognosticators I know of, Stephen Jiang of CBS Evening News, not Evening News, just CBS News, and Professor Tang Jimeng of Beijing Foreign Studies University. Thank you guys for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm in a bad mood because we all live in Beijing, right? Twice in the last few days, I've been out in traffic when Barack Obama's motorcade went through, and it took me 3 hours to get home from work the other day, waiting on the Second Ring Road. So I don't know about you guys. Did you experience any disruption during the visit?
Well, I'm sure you are not alone. Our office is right next to the St. Regis Hotel, which is where he stayed, of course. So the police cordoned off a large area around the hotel. So for us to get into the office, it could be a little troublesome. And of course, you mentioned he went to the Forbidden City and the Great Wall. So they closed the, two of the most popular tourist attractions in the city each for a day, basically. I'm sure disappointing a lot of visitors as well.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I was wondering about that because it looked like he was all alone on the Great Wall there. I thought, that's pretty good to be the only tourist on the Great Wall.
That's right. I think the last time you saw that kind of picture was when Nixon was in China on the Great Wall back in 1972, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, with a large crowd. Nixon was actually escorted with a huge crowd.
That's true.
The government officials and also the local people out there on the wall. And it was a snowy day. It was quite huge snow out there on the Great Wall. It added the beauty to it. But then this time, I thought that he was almost a loner out there, without his wife, without his two daughters. I was wondering, where are the daughters and where are the women?
Well, Hathaway was here, but she was kind of, I don't know, a lot of the occasions in public, she didn't look too happy either for some reason.
No. In fact, all in all, I want to talk with you guys about this because I don't know if you were here during the Clinton trip. But I mean, just to contrast, I remember very well, you mentioned Nixon, some other historic visits, but certainly the Clinton trip was interesting. You had Clinton there in the Great Hall of the People, a very different time with Jiang Zemin there, a very different kind of president, and of course, a very different U.S.-Sino relationship. Because at that time, I think it was Mexico held most of our debt. It wasn't China, right? And Jiang Zemin was there, was a big Elvis fan. He played guitar.
Right.
Clinton was there scolding China on human rights in Tiananmen. And he was at Peking University where he had a lively exchange with some students. And this time, very different summit. Can you talk about why the difference between these two? What's different this time?
It's peace and harmony.